We've got a $100 donation from Falcon Eye. The power of the Rummel for the Germensch community. Shoutouts to Mr. MV.
Runners 4, then 6, 7, 8.
Hello, hello.
Testing.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Sound good?
Going full stream, eh? Risky.
Dude,
Yeah.
full stream is the way to go.
It definitely is.
Are you a scrub?
He is Scrub Thunder.
Dude, I thought you were the BioShock beast. Dude, sure, man. Take a
There
seat.
should be some background music, but I can.
Wait, who?
Okay.
Nice to meet you. I'm Laser Long. And that's,
That's all.
dude. Thanks, I appreciate it. You should watch him though, he's better. He's the BioShock beast. Did he get red hair?
Good. Twitch.tv/Blood Thunder. There's an underscore between them, and the O's in blood are zeros.
Dude, just gotta relax. I'm excited for your Dishonor run, by the way.
All right. The timer's going to start after the first cutscene, just to let you know. And for those wondering, I'm going to be playing the game on easy because the difficulty in this game does not matter for the speed run, and it allows me to do a trick in Apollo Square that I can't
Also
do on
because he's a scrub.
that too.
Scrub Thunder.
So this is just setting the plot for the game.
They told me,
The plot's pretty deep.
son,
Yep.
you're special. You were born to do great things.
No spoilers, everyone in Twitch chat.
You know what?
Would you kindly not spoil this game? It is a Let's Play. We're gonna play this game intentionally, by the way, just a reminder.
No glitches or anything.
Yeah, this is a glitchless run. This is all intentional. We're just gonna beat it under an hour though, just a reminder. By the way, just to throw in something real quick, we made a quick bet on one glitch, but we'll talk about that more when we get there.
I thought we weren't doing glitches.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Whoa, my bad.
Well, see, that was the bet.
Yeah.
And Laz just lost.
I just lost.
Dishonored any percent. The timer's going to start in just a moment. I won't need to know for about 20
He's
minutes
doing
or so.
SDA time.
The timer starts now.
So it starts from first movement.
Yeah. So we're going to take a little shortcut right here. It's not a glitch. We're just going to swim through the fire.
There's a lot of doing that in the game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the beginning of the game is kind of slow, but once we get into the actual part of Rapture, which is the city the game is based in, it really starts to pick up. So I'll try to do some cool little tricks here and there, but we'll see. So we got to make our way into the lighthouse and then down to the bathysphere, which is, for those that don't know the game, the way you get around the city. You'll see me do this quite a bit, make my way in the dark as the game's trying to set the mood.
Oh my god, Scrub Thunder.
So there's a neat little trick I was trying to do there where you get outside of the bathysphere, which is what I'm riding in, and you can kind of just look around Rapture like you're not supposed to.
It's a tricky little jump, but you can get it consistently if you practice. If you practice. Slideshow time.
Yep.
I am Andrew Ryan, and I'm
Once again, we're just learning about the plot of the game.
Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs to God. No, says the man in Moscow, it belongs to everyone. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different. I chose the impossible. I chose Rapture.
So here's the main city, Rapture. It's underwater, obviously.
The artist would not fear the city.
Not much more to it.
What's the name of the whale? Yeah, what's you call the whale by name?
I don't think we actually named the whale.
You never did?
We named the bees in BioShock 2 and the shark.
Can we name the whale in honor of the marathon? There you go. There we go.
It's been said. It's too late. Too late to change it.
See?
So here goes Echo.
Oh god.
All right, so now we've actually made it in the Rapture, but we're not quite out of the slow part of the game quite yet.
It's the very boring part.
But something I've been hyping up in my own stream for a while is that I've found a new little time saver, and I'll be showing that off in this area as well.
New strats.
Wait, is this the new strat you were talking about?
It might be.
Dude, you're hiding strats for me? What a cheater. By the way, rest in peace, Joey.
So the guy that just died is named Johnny. He's not too bright. He
No.
has a gun, but he doesn't use it. He just dies.
You should probably ask BioShock, rather.
He initially...
It's actually the best one.
Now, to be honest, this part is supposed to scare you when you first play the game, because BioShock's trying to build this horror atmosphere, but initially, when you start getting plasmids, the game's not scary anymore.
Yeah.
Too spooky for me.
Exactly. It's a very boring part of the game as well, because a lot of it is walking. There's not really much to do.
And now we meet the main guiding character, Atlas. He tries to befriend us to lead us through Rapture to get to Andrew Ryan, who is the guy that actually built the city. I won't go too much in the plot because there's a pretty big spoiler later on for those that haven't played it. For now, we're just going to make our way through this area. Right where this pillar is, there's a small invisible wall that you can jump on top of. It doesn't save any time, but
Just something
why
to
not
show.
go for it? This is the first item we'll get in the game. It's the, well, I guess it's the first weapon. We already got one of the items. And fun fact about this couch, it'll always be on fire, no matter how long you wait. Right. And now we get our first plasmid, which is something you'll soon see.
Now, quick question. How many times have you seen this cutscene?
Too many.
That's a good answer.
It is a Let's Play.
Yeah, it's a, yeah.
Don't fall down? Oh, whoops.
Seems like it would take like actual conscious effort to throw yourself over there.
You would think he would be like, whoa, let's not do that.
Another little fun fact about the subtitles for this part, they named the first splicer Splicer 1, the next one Splicer 2, but then they changed it to Splicer Male and Splicer 2 for whatever reason.
Huh.
Yeah.
Someone's a little insecure.
So he's still Splicer 1, but in just a second he'll go to... There it is, Splicer Male. And now the main reason most people remember BioShock.
The Big Daddy.
Big Daddy and the Little Sister.
Blood was supposed to cosplay as a little sister, but unfortunately he scrubbed out.
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to be my Big Daddy, and you scrubbed out too. So.
Dude, have you... I did. I couldn't get the suit on. I was too short.
Wait a minute. He's still breathing. It's all right. I know he'll be
No.
soon.
What are the donations that
People are willing to do.
Donate, they turn the volume off.
Alright, so now we have Electrobolt, which is what we just picked up. And it's kind of like a superpower for those that haven't played the game. This one lets you shoot Electrobolt. Pretty self-explanatory. Lightning out of hands. Fun stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, what's the good and evil? Yeah, the donation and bidding war for this game.
Not for 20 minutes, but if you want to let people know, you can.
So what are you going to draw for us?
I'm going to try to draw something. I don't know what it'll turn into, but we'll see.
Looks like a deer. A jet? Is that a jet?
It's beautiful, whatever it is.
It looks like a bird.
Butterfly?
It's a jackal.
It's a jackal?
A jackal.
It is Echo the Whale. It's an abstract.
The return of Echo.
So we're going to pass up pistol here, which is normally the first actual gun you encounter. You can get most of the guns many times over in the run, and it's just not worth picking up. So we have one more area of sitting around doing nothing, but this one has a cool cutscene.
A lot of these cutscenes are pretty much just introducing core enemies as well as just the atmosphere of BioShock to you. But after this section, once we get to Medical Pavilion, Blood will do his work and show you how non-broken this game is.
Yeah. So far, it's not been broken at all, but
No.
there's a reason the game's under an hour.
Very intentional. Because if it was broken, it wouldn't be there. Are you going to do the BAPS?
So the next little area, I have to just kill all the splicers, but I'm just going to go ahead and explain what the trick I've been hiding for so long is. So at the end of this level, there's a certain part you have to wait through, and there used to be a really good way of skipping it, walking around the corner. But back in September, I went on Twitch and searched BioShock stuff, and surprise, surprise, there's actually a developer playing through it with commentary, and he points out a part where a speedrunner could actually use a trick, but no one in the speedrunning community knew about it at all. And it's been out there for about 3 years now, so I'm going to show that off now. So all we have to do is take a lecture bolt. It's actually now pretty handy. Walk in here and zap the door.
Wow. That blows the old strat out of the water completely. Thank you for showing me
I
that.
told you you'd like it.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, if you mess that up, you lose about a minute.
Yeah, you reset there a lot if you don't get that trigger skip right.
Is it intentional that the plasmid opens the door?
Yes.
No, that's actually a bug. It doesn't work on any other door in the game, unfortunately. That's the only time we'll have to hack anything, but it's pretty mandatory for now. The hack is the same if you boot it up from this desktop, but if you do multiple runs, it switches. I don't know why it does that, but it's pretty helpful if you can know the pattern.
So this is really where the run picks up. Because once we get telekinesis, we really abuse the game. I mean, play the game intentionally really well.
Yeah, so now we're going to go pick up 2 more plasmids, and we're going to get rid of Electrobolt. We no longer need it. First one we're going to get is Incinerate, and we need that really only to get telekinesis, which is really, really broken. It makes combat in this game a complete joke. Okay. So now we have Incinerate. Which, as you can probably guess, is fire. You may notice I'm running past splicers and not actually killing them. That's intentional. I don't need to fight them. But it's very important I don't kill this splicer before he throws the table. And I'll come back to that in just a moment. Pick that up. And here's telekinesis. So goodbye, Electrobolt. So this well. Alright, so the reason the table needed to be thrown at me is because it actually changed the properties of the table. So it's unlike any other in the game at the moment. I just need to take it with me. Put it right.
It's a very frustrating table, by the way, as you may notice.
Yeah, because its properties changed, it's now solid when I hold it with telekinesis. I may have lost it. Okay, so it's the data. Which makes it really difficult to walk with it. And it allows me to do this.
So,
yeah, the main point of going over the wall instead of around it is to not activate that Vita chamber there. So we're going to abuse that in just a moment.
yeah, there's a huge reason.
Yeah.
Can you get Buck?
We'll see.
I believe in you.
Okay, so I need to take some damage. Need more damage. And we're good. So I'm going to go for a little trick, but I don't really need to explain it unless I get it, because it won't make sense.
It's not an easy trick to do.
So I just need to kill Steinman, who is the quote-unquote boss of the area. He allows you to leave, but he also locks a certain door that we now bypass by dying, which is why we didn't activate the Vita Chamber in that area. It would send you back there if you die, typically. And what the locking of the door does is it sends you to another area of Medical Pavilion, which has a very long cutscene with Little Sisters and who knows what else. We're going to skip all that and just go right to the exit.
So how much time does that say?
Probably 3 minutes.
Yeah, this is yeah.
As the run progresses, you'll learn that telekinesis is a very, very potent plasmid, as well as just being incredibly overpowered.
Yeah.
And
The next area doesn't really have a big skip, but it introduces a smaller glitch. Or I guess we're not doing glitches, my bad.
yeah, no glitches, man. Come on, keep it legit.
Yeah, Easter egg. It's exactly what it is. That'll come in handy over and over again. So I'll explain that in just a minute. First, we need to get there.
I mean, who's to say it's not developer intent?
Exactly.
Yep.
If you can do it, it's in there. It gets a lot better.
So this is where the Easter egg comes in handy. We can skip any NPC dialogue we want by playing a radio message over top of it. And we skipped it.
No, you can do it on consoles as well.
Yeah, the speedrun for console and PC is exactly the same besides loading screens. Now we're just waiting for this part to end. Typically you'll pick up the grenade launcher right here, but we're just going to skip it for now because we'll preserve it for later. And I can actually skip this dialogue, but I don't want to until the goal message appears. Right now. If you skip it when the door is closed, but the goal message hasn't popped up, it'll stay closed forever.
Solid soft lock.
Yeah.
The best kind of soft lock.
Well, you soft lock unless you know what you're doing, and then you can re-diary skip it somehow. It's kind of too complicated to explain. And now we're just doing the intended goal, which is getting a camera and taking some pictures. Why not? Let's take a quick selfie. There's no reason to actually pick up those machine gun rounds because I won't need them. But I do it anyways. So there's one picture. We need 2 more. Just run past all these guys.
When I first learned about the photo route here, it blew my mind because learning this game, you don't expect to take the photos right here and then be done with it. Normally you're supposed to go inside, find the splicer through these really scary atmospheres. Yet again, BioShock wants you to be scared, but doesn't do a really good job in the speed run.
Yeah, typically when you take those pictures, you're not supposed to know they're right in the doorway. So you have to chase them down, but you can just open the door and take the picture and get it over with. I was going to go for a small death warp here, but they didn't do enough damage, unfortunately. Alright, so here's the grenade launcher we were talking about before.
This is a really cool trick.
So we're going to diary skip past this door. And this is usually where you give up your weapons in the game to do another type of boss fight. But if you just give up your weapons and then pick up something else, like the grenade launcher, you can just keep it. Why not?
Yet again, all intentional. Just
Yep.
keep in mind, everybody.
So we're going to melt this ice so I can get some frag grenades. Skip another message. Anytime you see me go to the menu, I'm skipping a message. And now we just need to wait for the boss to actually spawn. And if you didn't realize how broken telekinesis was, you soon will. And he's dead. I'm also not picking up my weapons, which is why I kept the grenade launcher. It costs 3 seconds or so to pick them up. And you gotta save those frames.
Exactly. Save the frames. Don't know yet. Donate now to save the little sisters. Or doom them all. Your choice.
Well, you don't really doom them, you just make them evil.
Yeah.
This is one of the games where saving them is faster.
Exactly.
So I mentioned before about picking up weapons throughout the game. We're just gonna get the pistol here. Normally you'd get this back when you get your weapons, but I can just get it here.
Nice, good shot. Oh, never mind. Try to be optimistic. Nice.
So you can just... It's not quite done yet. We have to blow up the bathysphere to continue.
Yeah, this is very important to the run.
Yep.
He just murdered a family, just for a reminder.
It was all him.
Yep, wasn't Fontaine.
Nope. So you just walk out the door when you hit the lever. It's simple as that.
Really solid programming.
Another dire skip. There's actually some really interesting mechanics behind leaving an area with radio messages and diary messages, and we'll actually get into that later on. We'll abuse it the opposite way, which doesn't really make sense, but you'll see.
Okay, here we go.
I just did a little trick there to get the door open quicker. It saves about 2 seconds, I recall.
I didn't know that trick either. Hiding all the strats.
That's why you should watch my tutorial video.
Ow. Ew.
The next weapon we're going to pick up is the machine gun. Very conveniently placed. I'm going to need it in just a moment. So now we're taking some photos again. And that gives us sports boost, which is an increase in movement speed. For the longest time, I didn't think it did anything, but I actually went back and tested it last week, and it does help. So it's back in the route.
Nice.
How much does it increase your movement speed by?
It's 10%.
That's not bad.
So I'm going to start setting up the biggest skip in the game. It's sort of difficult, but we'll see. So I need to take the pallet with me and take out these splicers and security measures. And that's just because they can destroy the pallet, and I don't want them to.
Here we go. Arcadia skip, the bane of all tricks besides Prometheus. This trick is very difficult to do. Blood makes it very easy, though.
So we need to put the pallet next to the tree and grab a manure bag. The whole goal of this is to get around a trigger that would otherwise close the door to the exit. I'm actually going to do a quick save, because if I mess it up, it's 15 minutes out of the way. So the tricky part is actually getting from the pallet to the tree. The tree does not like you trying to get up in it.
The tree is the real jerk here.
Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and reposition this. And manure bag's gone. All right, let's grab another one.
Just a reminder, he cannot look to the right at all.
Yeah, if I look to the right of the tree, I actually activate the trigger. Walking or looking at it, will do that.
And if he activates the trigger, he has to do the intentional way.
The screen's going to go black, but it's going to come back. That's because of the trick I used to get the door open. For some reason it does that. I don't actually understand why. And there's no audio in the game anymore. So it gets the next
Stay
part.
audioless for the entire run.
I don't know who that is. We're old. All right, let's quick load. We did it for a reason.
Oh, there it is. Yet again, this trick is very difficult to do, and usually if you get to this point, it's frustrating.
Yeah, this is usually the run killer.
Yes.
But only because it can take you so long. But
And the funny thing is, it gets harder as we go along.
I'm just going to do a quick save up here. Once I'm here, I should be able to get it pretty quickly, unless I shoot. Alright, so now I'm up in the tree. It took a little bit longer than I'd like, but it's fine. And we need a little bit more height, so we use the manure bag once again. Shoot a little bit, and jump over the trigger.
Yet again, he skipped an intentional quest to for scavenging hunting in the farmer's market, where it usually takes you about, how much time would you say?
15 minutes or so.
Oh, Lord.
With an optimized route, it's 15 minutes. But for those not knowing what that skipped, if you've played the game, where you get the bees, we skip all of that.
The bees are the best, though, but unfortunately we have to skip them.
And we're going to do another really big skip. Unfortunately, this is a really cool level, and we just don't get to see it.
Sander Cohen, the best.
So we grab the stuff. Stack it. And now we're going to do something that you might think is counterintuitive, sinking the bathysphere. Which is what you use to leave the level. But if I do this right, I shouldn't need it. And I'm going to quick save just because. Marathon luck. So now I need to wait until I get a certain goal message. I can kind of skip ahead to get it. And that gives me my walking speed back, because it's actually reduced when you enter Fort Frolic, and that allows me to get up on this railing. So I'm going to do this trick, and then I'm going to explain what I did.
That was really nice.
Nice job.
So when you sink the bathysphere, it visually goes away, but the hard coding for it's actually still there, so you can just find the lever that you would normally pull, and if you do that, you can still use it. So it's pretty easy. So this is the part where I need to know good or bad ending.
Good ending is in the lead.
Good ending? Okay.
How much on each, both sides?
Good ending has $653, and bad ending has $471.
So for the good ending, we're just going to do the any percent route, and that means we don't touch any of the little sisters, we don't harvest or save them, we just leave them alone. If we were doing the bad ending, we'd harvest 2 of them, but that's about it. Alright. So I need to play that message off the body, and then skip it. That gets the door open quicker. Just over here. We will still need to kill 2 big daddies, but that's just for the goal objective. You have to obtain a quest item from inside their bodies.
Now, quick question. When you loot a body, do the items stay consistent, or is it always a different kind of item when you loot a body?
For bodies, it's pretty much random. With a lot of the items like trash cans and crates, you can usually get the same stuff, but bodies are different. Yeah, the radio messages are always consistent like that. So we're going to leave him alone for just right now. We'll come back to him. What I'm doing is activating the goal, and I'm also upgrading my damage. By taking a picture of him, I can do a little bit more damage against them. And if I pick up this tonic, it actually gives me more damage for each picture I take of him. So now we are fully equipped to kill Big Daddies.
There'll be a lot of death warp abuse here in a few moments.
Enter the store code. So I can just run through these. Put nitroglycerin, and when your health gets low enough, you actually get invincibility for a few seconds. So it can really mess up with death warps, unfortunately. So if a Big Daddy's interacting with the little sister, you can't damage him, which is what I'm testing now. Because I don't want to waste grenades if he's not going to die. So, you guys want a good ending? We're just going to leave her there.
Save little sisters.
So I actually abused the invincibility, so I could go and obtain what I needed from the Big Daddy and then die immediately. Now it whipped me back to this fighting chamber. It's pretty helpful. We're about halfway done getting the quest items at this point. Now we need one more piece. So if you see me damaging myself, that's for a death warp, which I'm about to do after I make the bomb. Just spamming the use key.
Nice.
Does it look like it's a real bomb?
Now we're going to take a shortcut to actually go place the bomb, which normally involves a really long and tedious process.
Tricky jump.
Yep. So we're going to do another quick save. This one's not really a one-shot trick, but it helps if I do mess it up. Which I
Try.
didn't. So.
Nice. Nice.
So once I've placed the bomb, I need to go back up, because that's where the exit is. So I just kill myself once again. And if you guys have not played the game and you don't want any spoilers, I recommend not watching the next few minutes of the run. Because the biggest spoiler I cannot skip. Just need to get past these. Alright. Once again, I don't need to kill him. I just need to run past him. So I actually lied when I said there wasn't a way to skip this part. We can actually skip it, but we can't find a way to get back into the room. So there's hope for one day we'll find a skip.
Someday. Someday. Another.
So it's a little dark here, but there's actually an invisible wall I need to jump over by getting on top of this vending machine. And there we go. Usually you just have to wait for the power to come back on, which is too slow for me. I hope you guys like spoilers.
I'm surprised we haven't heard many would you kindly puns. Oh man.
The assassin has
This is a great
overcome
cutscene.
my final defense, and now he's come to murder me.
Spoiler alert coming ahead,
In
guys.
the end, what separates a man from a slave?
I have no idea. We'll find out though, I think.
Money? Power? No. A man.
Some sort of symbolism.
chooses. A slave prays. You think you have me? Farm, family, an empire.
So Blood, out of all the cutscenes in the game, which is your favorite?
This place
I have to ask.
It's the very last one.
Nice. That's my favorite too.
Did that
You gotta stab him.
crash?
That is the best satisfying feeling.
Was it hijacked? Forced down.
Spoilers.
Forced down by something less than a man, something bred to sleepwalk through life until they're activated by a simple phrase spoken by their kindly master. Was a man sent to kill or a slave?
Alright, so that's
A
part one of the
man
cutscene.
chooses. A slave
Now we're gonna get the fun part.
prays. Come on. Stop, would you kindly? Would you kindly? Powerful phrase. Familiar phrase.
Would you kindly? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly head to
Big emphasis on the phrase "would you kindly," obviously.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep saying that.
I have no idea.
Would you kindly?
Some sort of inside joke.
It's pretty catchy. I like it.
Yeah.
Would you kindly? Run! Stop! Take.
Must just
A
be a
man
coincidence.
chooses.
Possibly.
A slave obeys.
The writers couldn't think of anything else.
Very unoriginal.
Kill! Man chooses.
So if you skip the first half of this, and then manage to find a way back into the room, this cutscene completely goes out of whack. Andrew Ryan ends up behind you, and you're hitting nothing, and someone
beautiful.
dies.
It's absolutely beautiful. You're pretty much beating up an imaginary man.
Obey!
Fatality.
Nice boss.
Tough boss fight.
Big twist.
And now comes this very slow and kind of boring descent of the game. We've had the big plot twist, but now it just kind of drags out. So we die or skip past the door. We're gonna cremate his body on the way out. Why not?
Out of respect.
Nice. Guy Thunder.
So if you use Incinerate when you're falling, and you go into this cutscene, when you load up Olympus Heights, which is the next area, you still hear the Incinerate sounds, which I don't understand, but... Any second now, and... There we go. It's a weird little bug I found doing runs, but...
Welcome back, child. Welcome to the city where you were born. You are angry at Fontaine, yes? Now you know the truth. You are his tool.
So although the story kind of goes downhill from here, the speedrun actually has some pretty cool tricks. One of my favorites is in this area. There's actually a lot of areas, or a lot of props used in this area that are repeated in BioShock 2, like these fish table. You see these in the beginning of BioShock 2 as well.
Will you be doing the little sister skip?
I will try.
Please. teddy bear, please.
So I'm just waiting for this little sister to actually run. Okay. So if you jump on this little bear just right, you can actually jump on top of the little sister's head.
Nice.
And just kind of stand here for a bit while we wait. You can stand in between them too, which defies gravity. You can stand in this little girl. I don't know what that defies, but probably a few laws. So now we're just on a fetch quest. We have to go collect some items that we need. I don't need to fully open the door, just enough to get underneath it with the crouch. Save a little bit of time. And I mentioned earlier about radio messages having a reverse effect on doors, and that's what I'm going to set up now. But first, we're going to do a quick save, because this can go terribly, terribly long if I don't pay attention. So I need to play a very long message. Oh, barely made it out. All right. So typically I would go to Apollo Square, which is the next area, because I activated the door. But because there's a radio message playing, which is NPC dialogue, the game won't actually transition me quite yet. Just keep in the back of your minds that the game's trying to take me to the next area. Everything else will make sense in a moment. Hopefully. You have to be careful there, because if you play the diary message and then leave, sometimes it'll warp you because the radio message is done playing. You have to really make sure the message starts playing. That is the wrong code. Okay. This is the point where I can kind of check my ammo for the next few areas. We're actually doing really well on ammo too, so should be good. First thing I'm going to do when I get up here is take out the security camera. Because if it catches you, you have to wait a minute. You can't do anything except wait.
They say to save one life is to save the world entire. I need a place.
Hopefully you've been keeping the thing I've told you to keep in the back of your minds. If not, this won't make any sense.
Nice job.
So yeah, the game was trying to take me to Apollo Square, but I just want to complete what I need to do before I let it do that. And that saves about a minute and a half of walking, so nothing exciting gets skipped this time.
Good decision.
Yeah, so at this point in the game, you're actually given various plasmids that you never picked up. I never got Winter Blast 3, but it's part of the actual story, I guess. And luckily, in the speedrun, you get a few that are actually pretty helpful. Winter Blast 3 isn't extremely helpful, but you can have some fun with it. So that's a small little death warp you can do to get back outside the building. It doesn't save too much time, but if your health is low enough, you might as well go for it. This alarm doesn't matter at all. I'd rather not set it off because this becomes a nuisance, but we're about to leave the area anyways. And this is one of the main reasons we run the game on easy, is for the next little skip coming up here. So I'm going to jump in this elevator shaft and fall down. If you do this on normal or hard, you just die. There's no way around it. That skip's taking the elevator down.
Yes, the compound is taking off. The effects of the mental suggestion
Last
are
chance, kids coming up. The worst skip of all. The
Yep.
most frustrating them.
So the second biggest skip in the game is coming up. We'll see how it goes.
Would you say this skip is more frustrating to deal with in Arcadia, or is Arcadia the worst?
This would probably be the worst.
Probably.
Arcadia is just finicky. This one you actually have to get really lucky with.
Yeah. Because it's your last chance.
Yeah. Sadly, it's always the cool areas that we skip in the game and not the boring ones.
Yeah.
Go and get this idiot.
Normally what you're supposed to do is gather parts of a Big Daddy suit to make yourself into a Big Daddy, but yeah, we're gonna skip that. So I'm gonna do a quick save because if I mess this up, there's no way of fixing it.
Last chance, kid. You
So Last Chance Kid is pretty popular as a quote for this game. You can probably guess why. There we go.
You pack it in now, and I'll leave this done.
Nice job.
That's always a very difficult trick to explain because it doesn't really have a easy explanation. There's basically two triggers that you need to activate, and you activate them in the reverse order so you actually skip one of them, allowing you to get to the door. I could go into more specifics, but...
Okay, this could be world record if he gets a redhead little sister.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
nope,
he got blonde, so this is going to be the worst run at HGDQ. So I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah.
It's just a joke. In the world record video, he has a redhead little sister, and they give you 3 sets of colors of hair. Blonde is the worst, brunette is eh, and red hair is world record face.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So she can either run or walk right there, but if she ends up walking, you can just do that to get her over here. For the majority of the area, you don't want the little sister to run to you by any means. It's actually a lot slower, but for this stretch, it's pretty helpful. And if you still haven't figured out that telekinesis is extremely overpowered,
This section will tell you.
yep.
Fortunately, this is the worst section, but it's at the end of the game.
Yeah, this is the infamous escort mission, and there's no way of speeding it up or skipping it.
No. People have tried. Blood has spent a lot of time trying to find a way to do it. There's a funny glitch where you can actually spawn a numerous amount of little sisters. Blood, if you want to go into detail about it, well, we got time.
Yeah, if the little sister dies, and you have to get a new one, you can actually spam 2 of the air vents they're supposed to come out of, and you'll get 2. So every time you kill off one, you can summon 2 more. So if you just have a lot of time, you can sit around and just summon a whole bunch like I did one night. I think I got up to 20 before I got bored of it.
It's a lot of little girls.
So the splicers can spawn on either side. Typically they favor the right, but you always have to check the left just to be sure.
Just abuse telekinesis.
telekinesis is so strong. Now, in BioShock 2, they did nerf telekinesis, correct?
Yeah, in BioShock 2, unfortunately, they did nerf telekinesis. It doesn't do nearly as much damage, and it uses a ton more Eve. So it's pretty much not used at all in BioShock 2. The worst part about this stage is that the little sister is constantly yelling at you to go faster.
She taunts you every time.
She will continuously tell you to hurry up or move faster or do something. Once again, they can spawn on the right or left side.
Blood.
Yep.
Do little sisters have a speed they can go at?
They can either walk or they can run. If you know what you're doing, they will always run, but if you mess up one little thing, they'll walk, which is really slow. She'll constantly do it.
That's just the dialogue she has.
It's supposed to be mimicking the fact that you're a Big Daddy, and Big Daddies are very slow and cumbersome protectors. That's the whole reason why she's saying that specifically, because Big Daddies are very slow.
This is a part where we actually make her run. If you get out in front of her here, like that, she will now run for the rest of the mission, as long as you don't mess anything up.
That's another strat I don't know. Man, I am out of the loop.
I'm bringing the gun turret with me because it's a very small object that will still do a one-shot kill, which is very, very important for this next little bit. So now we get 3 splicers in the water, and if what you're throwing actually hits the water, it won't be a one-shot kill. If it hits the little sister, it won't be that either. If I used a body for that, then it probably wouldn't be a one-shot kill. I could use a camera or a trash can or something, but gun turret is probably the best. While the little sister runs up here, we're just going to make it safe. Yeah, there's a splicer around here somewhere. And there's one over here on the floor. Unfortunately, with telekinesis, you can pick up random parts of the body that aren't actually the full corpse. So you can pick up mask, hooks, other little things that won't be a one-shot kill, like that. Picking up machine guns don't help. So this next part's what I like to refer to as the Kool-Aid Man fight, because
Kool-Aid time.
We'll see in just a moment.
Don't be a slowpoke, Mr. B.
And he's dead.
That was a fast fight.
Better for the girls to be with you. Better if you were done alone. Alone in the crawling.
So because we have a little bit of spare time with this run, I'm going to go get her a present. I typically don't do this, but I think she deserves it. Her very own pet cat.
Nice. It's very thoughtful of you.
Yep. Just got to make sure she takes it with her.
What a nice guy.
She will like to leave it behind, but you can't have that.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know where it went. Oh, there it is. So if we hold it right here, she'll push it into the air vent.
Oh.
And now it's stuck there.
Now it's spazzing.
There will be no going back. Make sure you are.
And now we go to the final fight.
A true boss fight. And the best boss fight. Because
Pretty hard though.
Yeah, time's going to be coming up pretty soon, so like another minute or so. I mean, this boss fight's going to take me forever.
It's difficult. I mean, I don't think you're ready. No, this is no jokes. This is hard.
Maybe even harder.
This is really, really hard. Yeah, that hurt. Yep.
The explosives that he places on the ground.
He's placing
essentially before he does anything.
Yeah, he's placing proximity mines, and when Fontaine jumps from his chair, he lands on the proximity mine. This does about 97% of his health. Blood
and time.
It's not a bad run. World record, I believe, is by Blood Thunder, about 54 minutes and 10 seconds, correct?
Yep.
And with loads or loading.
Without loads, it's 52:20.
Okay. It's a very hard time to beat, and this game is close to the point of being completely optimized.
Yeah.
Though I'm not sure with the new strat at Medical Pavilion or before it, if how much that would save.
So you guys donated for the good ending, and here you go.
Yeah, so really
It's so happy.
Heartwarming ending. Just a disclaimer, we saved no little sisters during this run the entire way. Just remember that.
All right.
We're back. Everybody.
Like, how much time?
Okay, we just gotta look casual. Nothing changed.
Just don't even mention it.
Nothing happened during the downtime.
Nothing at all.
Blood got world record. Everyone missed it. It wasn't recorded.
It was insane. It's a one-in-a-lifetime thing. If you had any wrong, worked with the credits.
We just tasked it, pretty much. TaskBot will be back here in a few moments. Speaking, do you want to mention after the credits real quick, Exploding Cabbage and all them?
I probably should.
So fast, you beat the game twice.
And time.
I said you I called you back, showed you what you was, what you was capable of. Even that life you thought you had, that was something I dreamed of.
Just a reminder, no little sisters were saved during this entire run. So just keep that in mind.
Well, they are saved.
The little sisters were harmed.
They get saved in the ending, if that counts for anything.
They offered you this city. And you refused it. And what did you do instead?
So because everyone donated for the good ending,
What I've come to expect of you.
has to be happy.
You saved them. You gave them the one thing that was stolen from them. A chance. A chance to learn. To find love. To live. And in the end, what was your reward? You never said. But I think I know. A family.
So I just want to give a quick shout out to Exploding Cabbage, who's the man who found practically all the glitches in this game. Or I guess we were calling it Easter eggs instead. But he really helped. And shout outs to Cortez, who's actually doing a segmented run of this game currently. And that should be on SDA sometime soon whenever he submits it. So if you want to see this game done really well, be sure to check that out. Yeah.
Can we get a quick round of applause for those guys? They really deserve it. Okay. Yep. There you go.
Thank you. Whoops. Mic's off, please.
We're on commercial. Oh. Just want to make a shout out to everyone who's donating. All of your donations go towards the Prevent Cancer Foundation. And I want to make another shout out to all of the sponsors. Our sponsors are the Yeti, Twitch TV, and GameSpot. Can you hear me?
Yep, can you hear it? Sorry guys, no more steam.
I need to speak louder. Okay.
Yep, can you hear this clearly? Right? Higher, even higher? Wow, it's sensitive. Something like that. Better volumes. Should I talk down to the mic or? Yeah, okay.
There'll be some background music, but I can.
Wait, who?
Okay.
Nice to meet you. I'm Laser Long, and that's all. Dude. Thanks, I appreciate it. You should watch him though. He's better. He's the BioShock beast. Did he get red hair?
Good. Twitch.tv/Blood Thunder. There's an underscore between them, and the O's in blood are zeros.
Dude, just gotta relax. I'm excited for your Dishonor run, by the way.
All right. The timer's going to start after the first cutscene, just to let you know. And for those wondering, I'm going to be playing the game on easy because the difficulty in this game does not matter for the speed run, and it allows me to do a trick in Apollo Square that I can't
Also
do on.
because he's a scrub.
That too.
Scrub Thunder.
I'll try to do some cool little tricks here and there, but we'll see. So we got to make our way into the lighthouse and then down to the bathysphere, which is, for those that don't know the game, the way you get around the city. You'll see me do this quite a bit, make my way in the dark as the game's trying to set the mood.
Oh my god, Scrub Thunder.
So there's a neat little trick I was trying to do there where you get outside of the bathysphere, which is what I'm riding in, and you can kind of just look around Rapture like you're not supposed to.
It's a tricky little jump, but you can get it consistently if you practice. If you practice. Slideshow time.
Yep.
I am Andrew Ryan. And I'm
Once again, we're just learning about the plot of the game.
Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs to God. No, says the man in Moscow, it belongs to everyone. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different.
So this is just setting the plot for the game.
They told me,
The plot's pretty deep.
son,
Yep.
you're special. You were born to do great things.
No spoilers, everyone in Twitch chat.
You know what?
Would you kindly not spoil this game? It is. It is a Let's Play. We're going to play this game intentionally, by the way, just a reminder.
Yep. No glitches or anything.
Yeah, this is a glitchless run. This is all intentional. We're just going to beat it under an hour, though, just a reminder. By the way, just to throw in something real quick, we made a quick bet on one glitch, but we'll talk about that more when we get there.
I thought we weren't doing glitches.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Whoa, my bad.
Well, see, that was the bet.
Yeah.
And Laz just lost.
I just lost.
Dishonored any percent. The timer's going to start in just a moment. I won't need to know for about 20
He's
minutes
doing
or so.
SDA time.
The timer starts now.
So it starts from first movement.
Yeah. So we're going to take a little shortcut right here. It's not a glitch. We're just going to swim through the fire.
There's a lot of doing that in the game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the beginning of the game is kind of slow, but once we get into the actual part of Rapture, which is the city the game is based in, it really starts to pick up. So.
I chose the impossible. I chose Rapture.
So here's the main city, Rapture. It's underwater, obviously.
The artist would not fear the city.
Not much more to it.
What's the name of the whale? Yeah, what's you call the whale by name?
I don't think we actually named the whale.
You never did?
We named the bees in BioShock 2 and the shark.
Can we name the whale in honor of the marathon? There you go. There we go.
It's been said. It's too late. Too late to change it.
See?
So here goes Echo.
Oh, God.
All right, so now we've actually made it in the Rapture, but we're not quite out of the slow part of the game quite yet.
It's the very boring part.
But something I've been hyping up in my own stream for a while is that I've found a new little time saver, and I'll be showing that off in this area as well.
New strats.
Wait, is this the new strat you were talking about?
It might be.
We've got a $100 donation from Falcon Eye. The power of the Rummel for the Germensch community. Shout outs to Mr. MV.
Runners 4, then 6, 7, 8, 7.
Hello, hello.
Testing.
Hello.
Yeah. So, hello.
Sound good?
Going full stream, eh? Risky.
Dude,
Yeah.
full stream is the way to go.
It definitely is.
Are you a scrub?
He is Scrub Thunder.
Dude, I thought you were the BioShock beast. Dude, sure, man. Take a
There's
seat.